Welcome back. Actually, welcome me back. Took a couple days off from videos. We are officially back from Chicago Collecticon. And it was a good time. It was a good time. So how I want to do this is I'm going to talk a little bit, just about the whole experience for the first like 10 minutes or so. So if anyone's watching this video on the replay, fast forward to like the 10-minute mark. That's when I will be talking about the actual numbers. Yes, I do have all the numbers, all broken down in spreadsheets. Absolutely no bias whatsoever. I'm just going to present all of the numbers. And so if you want to get to that point, it'll be 10-minute mark. But yeah, so how I broke it down is, this is all hypothetical, by the way, right? Hypothetically, if you vend, because I didn't vend, obviously. I had a friend, we'll call him Luigi. Luigi was vending, and me and my wife were there helping Luigi vend. And so any and all sales and buys and trades and profits that were made were all Luigi's, and I'm just giving you the data. Any type of, Luigi gave me all of his purchases, what his grading costs were, any of his long-term holds. He gave me proof of all of these, so I can confirm all of these are very real numbers of his costs. And he gave me all receipts for his travel expenses. And so I will be able to tell you everything that Luigi did there. Because like I said, I didn't do any of this. I didn't make any money. So I want to make sure that is very clear throughout this video. This is hypothetically if I were to vend. And, this is all prop money. Okay, this is all prop money. This is not real. This is for entertainment purposes only, as is this channel. So I want to be very clear about those reasons. All right. Now, before we get into to all the numbers, I will say the trip in general was great. It was a nice road trip, about 4.5, 5 hours each way. Not too long to like get on your nerves, but long enough to be able to get through a couple podcasts and enjoy it with my wife. Hotel was nice. Stayed at the Embassy Suites. The reason we stayed there is because I like the breakfast. So I didn't want to stay at the other hotel because I wanted to be able to get that free breakfast every morning. Because, the first day we didn't even eat. And then the second day we did get a little food, but it helped being there without a lot of food during the event. And just all the people I met for the first time, like, meeting, I wanted to pull out the card. So, meeting like Radar and Squeaks. I met them. I had them both sign a card. It's a 1-of-1 Radar and Squeaks sign card, guys. That could go for millions. I think I'm going to list it on my eBay like $1,000 because I think it's definitely more valuable than a Jason Page signature. So yeah, we got that. I could literally go down like the list of everyone I met, like Z and G. James was there, met him for the first time in person. Obviously everyone I vended with, Rock Pokemon, Green Shiz, Ponga was over there. I'm going to miss people like Lord Pokesmoke, BB, Thrifty. I'm going to forget people's names. So I don't even want to keep going. Anyone I didn't actually name your name. Sorry. Hung out with Nick, my buddy, Pokemon Plumber a lot. Him, Moonlight was there. We hung out quite a bit. Had dinner with them too. And then Brian, Graded Never Faded, his wife, Dr. Applesauce and his wife, had a lot of good conversations about, content and things like that with them. And just the whole thing was great. Everyone was great. It was a good time. I have not one negative thing to say about any person there, any interaction. It was great. One thing I will say is it was weird. Like when I was behind the booth with my vendor badge on, everyone would talk and network with me. But then I walked to the other side of the table and took my vendor badge off, like the customer side, and everyone just went silent. They just went on about their business. I was like, hey, can we network? And they wouldn't network with me. So I guess it's true, guys. You can't network unless you're a vendor. So unless you have a vendor badge and you're vending, you can't network. You can't talk to people. You can't make relationships. That's a rule. Obviously, that's bullshit, guys. That's one of the most ludicrous things I hear from people is that's why you vend is so you can network. Don't believe all that BS. It's ridiculous. What else is the funny part about it? I'll show you in a little bit the collection buys and the buyouts and trades that come up to your table. I got very few, if any of those. The ones I did take were okay, but not a lot of those. And to be honest with you guys, I'm going to spoil it a little bit. I'm going to spoil it. I made more sourcing at Charlotte Collecticon, just attending and sourcing raw mint singles to grade, than Luigi made vending. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. You can legitimately, if you know what you're doing grading and you're able to source well, you can make more sourcing than you can vending. Depending on what level you do that at, either way though, right? Like, cards that I sourced at Charlotte, I made thousands on getting them in tens. I'm talking like all the Jolteon, Vaporeon, Flareon, like VMAX V promos from the collection boxes, Latios tag team, Magikarp Whaler tag team, multiple Machamp Marshadow tag teams. There were XY full arts, like, Breakthrough Mewtwo. I got that in a 10. Like, the list goes on and on. Like, there were multiple thousands of dollars that I made getting 10 candidates at under market value, because a lot of those I bundled together, I negotiated down, I paid cash for. So I got all those cards literally under near mint market value and was able to grade them 10s and make exponential amounts of money, not working really much at all, not having to take the risk of transporting things and vend, not having to sit behind a booth all day. And so, depending on which way you want to take it, you can vend, you can source. You don't need to do either one to make money. You can make money doing either. And you also don't need to vend to network. Don't believe that lie. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. You don't need to vend to like find good buys. You can find good buys anywhere. Like, some will come to your booth. Others, you can go walk up to tables and make deals with people that want to sell. Guys, in all honesty, like, if you go to Collecticon, enjoy it. Enjoy doing whatever you do. If you enjoy vending, do it. If you enjoy attending, do it. I don't really see any major benefits that outweigh either way, right? There's goods and bads of both ways. But the numbers cannot be denied. So we are going to get into the numbers. To everyone's questions, I've seen them in the chat already. Yes, they're 100% fair numbers. They're all 100% accurate. Again, Luigi was vending, not me, but me and my wife were sitting there taking notes on every single sell that happened, every single trade, every single buy. And then I have a list of all the inventory that started the day, or started, the weekend. I have every single thing that sold. So you'll see exactly how much inventory you need to sell how much. What else? I have every single expense, everything from the, vending expenses to the travel expenses, meals, anything I needed to set, or Luigi needed to set up, and all of those good things. And literally, guys, again, there's no bias. I know a lot of people think I'm biased. I wanted to put this content out because no one else does it. And other people, I get, they've done like sort of like semi like this. No one has ever put out a detailed video like this, lining everything out word for word in a spreadsheet, showing you the exact numbers. Because people can tell you all the time, I was getting these deals for 90, 95, 100%. I was doing this. I was doing that. I made all this money. I made all this money. Prop money, by the way, prop money. And no one ever, not one time details everything out word for word in a spreadsheet. So that's what we're going to do today, guys. I've got it all here for you. Let's go ahead and start breaking this thing down. Now, there are a few things that can change, right? First of all, you could say, well, Alex, maybe you didn't have the right inventory, right? That's 100% true. Depending on the inventory you have will depend on the sales volume and the profit margins, right? Also, depending on what Collecticon you go to. Some people said the Chicago was good. Some said it wasn't as good as others. So it depends on the Collecticon you go to, or the show you go to. It depends on, if you have to travel or not. I had to travel to this. If you're local and can drive down the street, that's going to be a lot different. It depends on, what else could it depend on? Collecticon, city you're in. There's a lot of different variables that can change up the numbers, right? But I'm going to give you Luigi's numbers. All right, so here we go. This is a list of every single item that I took and what I priced them at. Luigi priced them at. I'm sorry. I keep getting it confused. I did all these numbers for him, and I keep saying this is mine. These are not my numbers. These are not my sales. I didn't make any money. I was just there watching, observing. But these are all the market prices of the items that were priced out the week of the Collecticon. And so it's literally every single thing I brought, or Luigi brought, and if there were multiples, It's just there is many as there were. So if there were like 9 boxes, there's 9 boxes on the spreadsheet. Or if there are 20 boxes, there's 20 boxes on the spreadsheet. Or multiples of the same card. Every single thing that was brought is listed on this spreadsheet to make sure it is as accurate as possible. Now, I want to also say one thing right here. This booster box lot. This was a deal that was negotiated and already done before the event. It was going to be shipped. However, since Luigi was going to be at the event, the sale took place there, but it was not a Collecticon sale. Therefore, I put it in, or Luigi put it in. I'm going to screw up the whole time, guys. Put it in the numbers here. And so instead of being a Collecticon buy, it was a pre-Collecticon buy, but it still gets included in the inventory, just not like the purchases there. So the total inventory brought was $36,299.50, which was rounded up to $36,300. All right. That is as accurate as you can get. All right. Here we go. Let's go start out with all right. So here's the total inventory. These are total sales, guys. All right. I put a few in green because I want to show 2 different numbers, because anyone starting this out fresh, they're not going to have these to sell, right? First off, 1-piece blue bottom box, okay? If you didn't buy that back at release, you would not have a $120 product cost in that. And so this is a huge amount of profit, and because if that item wasn't there, that would drastically reduce the profit margins. Team Up Booster Box. This is another box that if you did not own, if you were just trying to buy, sell, flip, and whatever. Hold on. I have to go ahead and do a ban real quick. Someone's trying to cause trouble in the chat. We're not here for all that kind of stuff. All right. Wong True, you're gone. All right. Anyway, Team Up Booster Box. That would not be there if it was not bought at an earlier date and grew because of price appreciation. That's not a normal buy and sell. And then also this card down here, this Mewtwo GX, the PSA 10 from Shining Legends, that was bought 3 years ago. And over the years, it increased in value. If that was not bought and held and grew value because of price appreciation on the investment, that would not be there. So those 3 items alone were a lot of the profits. If those weren't there, it would look a lot different. So I will show both sides of the numbers, but this is every single sale that happened. And this is every dollar cost that was in the item, right? Some of them, you say 0. You say, how can you have 0 cost in an item? Well, if you open up a 151 UPC and sell all the packs and you're left over with the promo's free, right? Same thing with like, a Charizard pin, right? If you're opening up a box and you're left with a Charizard pin, well, the pin's technically free because you already made money on the rest. But so that's why some of them show 0. But this is every dollar cost that was in every item sold. And this is every item that was sold, the price it was sold for, okay? So total sales was $12,683. Now look, $36,000 of inventory only sold $12,000, meaning just over a third of the inventory sold. So that gives you an idea. I've heard some people say they sold about half their inventory. Between 33 to 50% of your inventory is probably what you're going to expect to sell. So if you only bring 10 grand, maybe you're only going to sell around 5. You bring 20, you might sell around, 8 to 10, something like that. So keep that in mind. You have to bring a lot of inventory, right, to sell a large amount of sales. So that's total sales. All right. Cost is in the middle. Total cost was $8,662, which gives you a profit of $4,021. Now, that is not net profit. That's gross profit on the items. There are expenses. Let's get to the purchases and trades first. So again, not a lot of purchases and trades were made. A 151 PSA 10 Charizard was purchased for $400, which the sale price right now is $650. So there's a $250 unrealized gain there. There's a trade made for the Giratina Arceus Palkia Dialga Glaring Galleries PSA 10 plus $100 cash. So if you take like the value that was in those cards, how much you had in those plus the $100 cash, and then what it was traded for, a Giratina Alt Art PSA 10, so that's a $700 value. If you take, what you had in those and subtract, this number's already off. I already see this number off right here. This is 465, so this is I already have the numbers off. We'll come fix it at the end. Paldean Fates, ETB, Mimikyu, sealed promo. Again, in an ETB, sold the packs, got it. It was left for free. Traded that for a Japanese Vulpix Master Ball. And then another trade was just like a Legendary Birds SM210 promo from Hidden Fates. Traded that for a Single Strike Urshifu and a Rapid Strike Urshifu Alt Art in Near Mint, which is about $28 value there. So those are the only buys and trades that were there. If you take the total value minus if you were to sell them, fees and shipping online, net total is about $267. So between the total profits and the total profits on the trades, you only have about $267 to add there. And then you have the expenses. All right. So I will say one thing. Okay. Table cost and 2 display rentals. Those are fixed costs for a table, right? A display shelf, you don't need that if you don't want to have anything behind you, but the display shelf was $80 for Luigi again. Acrylic 8-pack dispenser to sell loose packs was $100. And then 2 nights at a hotel plus parking for 2 nights. Now look, if you want to slum it and get like some flea bag motel or split a bunch of people with an Airbnb, you can do that. You know, if you and your wife wanted to stay by yourselves in a nice hotel, that's what it costs there in Chicago. And then gas, again, this could be a lot different for people. If you fly to the event, if you have a higher travel cost, if you're local, don't have a travel cost. If you have, you know, an old Honda that gets really good gas mileage, it only costs maybe like $72 if you're driving from Missouri. And then meals, remember, you're there for Friday night, all day Saturday, and most of all the day Sunday. You're going to spend money on food. It's going to be hard to find cheap food. And so $150 on meals. Now, look, obviously, these are fixed costs. This is what it costs to vend with a table and 2 cases. All of these other costs, look, realistically, you don't need a display shelf. You don't need these. You can definitely get cheaper on the hotel, maybe more expensive or cheaper on the travel, maybe more expensive or cheaper on the mails. Total cost was $14, $22, $72. Again, everyone knows this. It's usually between $1,000 to $1,500. Anyone who vends will tell you this. That's what it costs. Maybe this is on the higher end. Maybe it's on the lower end, depending on where you're traveling from and what you pay. But that was total cost to go. Now, when you take the net sales profit plus the trade and buys unrealized profits minus the expenses, you get a total net profit of $28.66 for 20 hours worked. Now you're saying, where'd that come from? So you spend about 3 hours or so researching every single item you're selling, putting down the prices, price stickering every item, getting them all packaged up, getting them all in the suitcases ready to go, safely secured, all of that. All right. And then if you're working all day on Saturday, which we were there all day Saturday watching Luigi, it was from 8 a.m. is when you get there to start setting up until 6 o'clock when it closes. You got to pack up and everything. That's 10 hours. And then if you work all day on Sunday, it's more. But Luigi, again, packed up around 2 o'clock. So it was only about 6 hours on that day. And then, another like hour just for all the back and forth, like lugging the stuff from hotel to there, back and forth. Another hour for all that good stuff. It was about 20 hours total worked, which gives you an hourly rate of $143.30 per hour. Now, stick with me. Don't click off the video. This gets good. Now, what I always like to say is, yeah, that looks good, right? But again, we're going to look at numbers without these 3 items, which you would not have if you're just starting out, because these were all items that were purchased a long time ago that have appreciated in value, okay? Not only that, right? What if you were to just sell everything on eBay? So I went through and I took all of these items that were sold and I got the eBay market price. No, sorry, not market price. The last auction price. These are all the last auctions on eBay, okay? The last auction price, the same cost, 13.25% fees plus 30 cents. That's what you get charged. Plus shipping. I had to estimate the shipping, but I was very fair on my estimates on shipping. Okay. This is the only thing that was estimated. So if you were to sell everything at eBay auction, you just take everything, auction it all off, ship it all out. Your same cost, you pay the fees, you pay the shipping. All right. What you would be left with is $13,074 in sales. Okay. Minus your product cost, which is again, the same product cost is up here. You did a little more in sales, okay? Minus fees and minus shipping, you would have been left with $2,495.89, okay? Now, with eBay, you would have only worked 3 hours, right? About 2 hours to take pictures and to post the items, and about another hour when they all sell to package and ship them. You would have made $24.95 profit. So the Collecticon total value was only $370 for 17 more hours worked. And by the way, this is not travel included. If you fly, you have to go to the airport, wait and all that, get to the place, take an Uber, get a rent-a-car, or you to do what I did, you to drive from Missouri, which is 4.5 to 5 hours each way. Okay, that's not included in it. This is just the hours worked. This is included the road trip. It's literally a $370 value to vend over just sell everything on eBay and be done with it. Not only that, a lot of this stuff could have just been packaged up and sent to a consignment service where you actually could have saved on fees and saved tons of labor. You could have actually done better than that and shrunk this number even more. Now, $370 divided by 20 hours worked, it's not that good of a value. And so if you really do the numbers, I'll go ahead and put it in the calculator right now. If we do $370 divided by 20 hours, you're making an extra $18.50 an hour working at a Collecticon over just listing it on your own eBay and just letting it sell. So that's up to you. Now, this is where it gets really bad. If you did not have these 3 items that had the biggest profit margins because they were not flips, they were not something that someone brought to you to make a margin on, these were investments that took a year, multiple years, multiple months to grow in value. If you did not have those, okay, you took away the One Piece, you took away the Mewtwo GX, and you took away the Team Up booster box. You still have the Celestial Storm and Lost Thunder. Those were flips. If you took away those 3 items, it would have brought your sales to 8,400, your profit to 2,076. You have the same the same margin here. You have the same expenses. Okay, that would have brought your net profit down to 921 or $46 an hour. If you take those same items away from your eBay sales, it brings those to 878. Only a $42 difference. Vending in person or selling everything on eBay. And again, if you sent it to a consignment service and you got even less fees, you could have actually eclipsed what you could have done at Collecticon. Guys, these are the real numbers. You can't refute this, all right? Now, what you can say is, I had better inventory, I made better margins, better profits, more sales. Some Collecticons do better than others. You can definitely say those things. However, as I said from the beginning, and I'll do this again in the future. I'm going to do at least one more of these in the future to give it 2 chances. But as I said before, you are almost always better off just either sending everything into a consignment service and doing no work, or just sending everything at auction on eBay, letting it all sell and shipping it all out from the comfort of your own home, working a fraction amount of the time and making almost the same amount of money. It is not worth it in any stretch of the imagination to vend these days. It just isn't, guys. It just isn't. And anyone telling you it is, they haven't ran the numbers. They don't know their numbers good enough. They haven't kept good enough details of their numbers. This is why people don't like me. I'm analytical. I actually put everything in spreadsheets and I know my numbers. People don't even know their numbers. A lot of people, they couldn't even tell you what they actually profited. They're like, I don't know. I sold this much. I think it cost around this much. I think I did all right. I'm leaving here. I left with a stack full of cash. I left with all this money, guys. By the way, prop money, not real. I left with all this money. I had to do good. And people just don't even know their numbers. And if they really broke it down, they'd realize this is all a whole bunch of work for not a lot of payoff. And I get that that's hard to hear for people that are very pro vending. And I'm not here to like fight about it or make you feel bad or try to like argue one point of view or another. I'm here simply to show the numbers. That's it. Nothing more. Nothing more. Those are the numbers. All right. And again, with these consignment services constantly keeping their fees lower and lower, I'll probably beat Collecticon a lot of the time or beat live vending. Again, this is Collecticon, guys. A lot of live shows are going to be even worse than this in terms of turnout. And so another thing is, I competed with the Collecticon with eBay auction prices. A lot of the auction prices were far less than what I can get buy it now. So if you have a little bit of patience and you want to just list your items and let them sell slowly at buy it now, you could definitely beat the Collecticon margins. Because again, you don't have $1,400 in expenses to go to Collecticon. You have just 13.5% fees on eBay and a little bit of shipping. That's it. That's all your fees. And you're sitting from the comfort of your own home. You're not working. You're not spending all day on your feet. You're not, having to eat crappy food at the conventions. You're not having to take road trips and do all this setup and all this work beforehand. None of it None of it. Oh, by the way, and then you can go and just enjoy Collecticon. You can source cards, not having to vend. You can be on your own time. You can leave the convention, go get food. You don't have people watch your booth or worry about getting stolen from. And it's way less stress, right? People will say, well, Alex, there's risk in online selling. There's shipping, there's this, there's risk in vending, there's theft, there's all kind of stuff there. So the risks, there's risk in travel. So the risks kind of weigh each other out. Guys, this is why right here, nobody would give me their numbers. This is why no one would ever answer me in a straight answer with a straight face. They always talk in circles and say, well, this and that. No. These are the numbers, guys. If you want to make an extra $50, $100, $200, $300, vending in a Collecticon instead of selling on eBay because you think it's fun, do it. But don't lie to yourself with these ludicrous ideas of oh, well, you can network because you vend. That's bullshit. It's bullshit. I've networked just as much not vending, so that's bullshit. Or these ludicrous ideas of like, well, you get all this good stuff, walk up to your booth that you can't get walking around. That's bullshit. I've got better deals walking around. Even people that said they got great deals, I found better deals walking around sourcing mint raw cards that I graded in PSA 10, right? I mean, I bought the Latias for $700, graded it, sold it for like $2,100, right? Are you having that walk up to your booth? Maybe some people are, not many though. And so there's that factor. It's like every little thing that people try to sell you, guys, it's a fairy tale, it's a myth, okay? Now, if you just want to make this your business and constantly grind, and just buy and sell and build up this backlog, you can do well with it. But again, you can do well doing that same thing on eBay or TCG Player or building up an Instagram business or a Facebook business or a wholesale business. You can do the same thing, right? So it's not that it's not possible or people aren't successful vending. My point is you can be just as successful from the comfort of your own home. And so, look, guys, I'm going to read the chat now. I'm sure I'm going to have tons of hate from the chat, but I'm ready to go in on it. I just wanted to put out these numbers for everybody. Again, everything I showed, all the cash, this is fictional. This is just prop money, entertainment purposes only. These numbers are all from my good friend Luigi, who I sat there and watched vend, and he gave me all of these expenses and numbers and everything. And so, congrats to him. But those are all his sales, and he'll deal with that. But I'm just here for entertainment purposes only. Let's get into the chat, baby. Here we go. This is gonna be fun. I already see Ponga getting wild in here, so I'm sure he's going to have something to say. I vended across from Ponga at the show. All right. Here's Zach already. I heard from friends the show was nuts. They were getting 90 to 95%. Hey, man, everyone's got a story. If they don't have numbers, they got nothing. Let's see. Yo, I was at Collecticon too. Sucked that I didn't get to see you there, but I ended up getting a Gray Fella Hat Pikachu slab, so it's pretty good. Hey, that's cool to hear. Good. I'm glad you picked that up. Good meeting you too, MD Sports Cards. It was a really pleasure meeting you, dude. I'm glad we got to talk. Let's see. You got to hug me. Instant plus. Oh, dude, instant ROI right there. That's all I needed. That is all I needed. I was at this Collecticon. Let's just say all the ladies were flocking to Alex's table. Hey, well, what can I say, right? What can I say? Let's see. What do we got in here? What do we got? Hey, there's Alyssa. Alyssa, what's going on? Alex was so popular, I didn't want to bother him talking to others, but eventually I did. No, I'm happy you stopped by, Alyssa. Appreciate it. It was a pleasure meeting you. Let's say the thing I hate is when most channels say I made X amount of sales. Yeah, and that's been my issue the whole time. I've said this from day one. Everyone on YouTube shows their sales numbers, their 1 year of sales, their eBay 90-day sales. They never tell you the profits. Never. And it's bullshit because they're doing you a disservice. They're doing their audience a disservice. Sales mean nothing. Guys, two businesses. One could do $1 million in sales. The other could do $1 million in sales. This business could break even. This business could make 200 grand. It just depends on what you're selling, what your profit margins are. Did you take losses? Did you not? Sales are the stupidest number that anyone can put out there, but people do it on YouTube because it's clickbaity. It gets people all excited, gets them all. It's ridiculous, guys. If you are listening to videos where people are only talking about sales and not showing you true net profit, it's fugazi. It's fairy tale land. I mean, literally, I could do an experiment, a social experiment. I could literally create a business and I could easily sell $3 to $5, $10 million in sales. I could lose $1 million on it, but I still sold it, right? Guys, you can do it too, right? Just go buy a bunch of product and then sell it at a loss. It's still a sale. I could buy 10 million in product. I could sell it for 5 million. It would get eaten up like that because it's such a good deal. And I take $5 million in loss. But guess what? I'm a $5 million a year business. It's meaningless. It's so meaningless, right? You have some business that operate at like an 8% margin. Some operate at a 25% margin. So if both businesses do 500 grand in sales, this guy's making 3 times as much. But no one talks about that, right? They just say, well, I did more sales than you. Okay, so you did $1 million in sales. I did 700,000 in sales. You got 10% margins. I got 25% margins. I made more, but no one wants to talk about that. They just say, well, he's got a 7-figure business. Oh, guys, it is like, it hurts my brain, the YouTube audience, that what they flock to, but it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, let's see. Wish Nikki's in the house. What is up, Wish Nikki? All right, how do you include 7,700 on inventory but no sales? What? Oh no, so the 7,700 is included on inventory. It is included. And some of those boxes are sold in the sales. Yeah, but I included it in the inventory. It just wasn't a sale. It wasn't a purchase. It wasn't like someone that walked up to my table and I was able to buy the collection because you're at Collecticon, right? It was made through email and it was going to be shipped, but it was just brought to Collecticon because it was easier and it was better for them. So yeah, it was included in inventory, but it was not included in a buy at con because the deal was already made. It wasn't a benefit of being at Collecticon to get that sale, right? It was already made online, if that makes sense, Ponga. I was gonna ask you for a free promo sales tax wise. How do you itemize a promo to IRS when you only have receipts for a product like UPC? So Live, Love, Badoof. I would tell you to talk to a tax accountant. Ask them. There's a difference between cash basis accounting and accrual basis. Accrual basis is wacky. You got to keep track of all your inventories and this and that and all these itemized items. Cash basis is so much easier. It's literally all of your expenses all of your income minus all of your expenses give you your profits. There's no keeping track of every little item. It's near impossible in TCGs. That's why cash basis is the way. But again, I can't give specifics. I'm not a tax accountant. Talk to a licensed tax advisor and they will answer those questions because it makes it so much easier. So much easier. Well, here's the thing. You should have stayed at the recommended hotel. It was $430, but you got no breakfast, and is that including parking? So it's probably about the same, man. It's probably about the same. Like, I'm a breakfast guy. Some people don't eat breakfast. I gotta have breakfast. Like, I'll be a zombie if I don't get some good food in me. Like, I'll be starving. So I gotta have a good, nice breakfast. And honestly, like, I mean, the Breakfast Embassy Suites has, guys, like, it's everything. It's fresh omelet station, you know, it's French toast and pancakes and bagels and muffins and sausages and bacon and hash browns. There's yogurt station, cereal station, all the juices, coffees, anything you want. It's like, that would cost you probably like $30 if you go out and get it, like a brunch like that. So, yeah, man, it's worth it. Like, cause me and my wife, you know, if you take 2 people, breakfast, 2 days, it adds up. It adds up pretty quick. Ponga, the only reason I showed the 2 numbers, dude, is because anyone new, again, this video is for people that are newer to the hobby. They're thinking about vending because they're seeing all the POV content. They're seeing the business content where people show their spreadsheets of how much they sold and all this BS. It's for newer people that don't have a year, 2 years, 3 years in the hobby, that aren't going to have investments that have appreciated and they're going to be able to realize those gains. It's people that are just buying and selling. They're just starting. They're not going to have that. They're not going to see those kind of sales or margins. And so I showed both to be fair, but I want people to realize the reason the sales and the profits looked better than they would have is because of investment appreciation. It's not because of buying and selling. It's not because people walked up and you bought it for 80% and you sold it for full price. None of that BS. And so, again, I showed both ways. I showed both sets of numbers. I was completely fair with it. It's just, guys, everyone thinks I'm trying to promote an agenda. I'm trying to give the information to everybody that does not have it, so you have all of this to go off of if you're considering vending, because it's not all sunshine and rainbows, guys. There's real numbers that are attached to all the glitz and the glamour, all the cash and the sales and the empty cases. There's actual numbers behind this, like what products actually cost. Did you spend money to grade those items? Did you travel? Did you get a hotel? Did you eat meals? Did you spend all kind of unnecessary expenses that you would not have spent if you were just sitting from the comfort of your own home, right? Plane trips, whatever. Like, it's just, you have to take that into account, man. You have to. And again, maybe it's worth it to some people. Here, let's look at the numbers again. I'll pull it up. Look, maybe this is if you didn't have, I'll go to the main one. Okay, here's the main one. So, after everything's said and done, $2,866, right? Compared to $24.95 on eBay. So maybe for everyone else, it's worth it to go to collect, con, and vend for $370 extra. If you ask me, hell no. Hell no. Oh, this is with the items, right? Without those few items, those investment items, $42 extra, dude. Oh, by the way, again, I said this before, right? These are all eBay auction prices, recent auction prices. The buy it now prices are higher, meaning it's even less if you want to just buy it now. Look, if you think vending is worth $40 to $370 extra on $10,000, $12,000 in sales, have at it. Me, I'd rather sit my butt at home, watch TV, and ship out some items. But hey, you guys do you. You guys do you. These are the numbers. Do with them what you will, right? It's crazy. Abraham, what is up? Appreciate you showing up, dude. I'm about to schedule a one-on-one after this one. I love you, Fernando. eBay is not moving to no fees. They're trying it out in some other countries outside the US. No telling if that's going to stick around or not. But yeah, like Germany and UK, I believe, have no fees right now. What about buys? I feel like you didn't buy a lot of items. Didn't have a lot walk up to me. I turned away a 151 master set that there wasn't a lot of margin on. And I turned away a couple slab collections, but I mean, it wouldn't be worth it for what they wanted. Like, they wanted like 80%, and it just wasn't worth it. The slabs would have been slow moving slabs. Like, I didn't have a lot walk up. I did purchase like a few things, but I didn't turn away a lot of stuff. It's just, guys, it wasn't as lucrative. And even some of the people I talked to, some people got some binder collections, but again, the things people get excited about are like things they're going to make like $100 or $200 on. It's not like people walk up with these collections that you're going to make $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 on. So again, it depends on where you're at in the hobby. If $100, $200, $300 is worth it to you and that's a lot of money, hey, I get it. But it's not like vending is this magnet where you're going to get all these great things. You got to remember, there's hundreds of vendors in the room. People are shopping their collections around to every person in that room. It's not like everyone's going to come to your table and say, hey, buy my stuff. I've got a following. I've got a freaking following, and I didn't get that much walk up to me. So yeah, that's more shenanigans. That's overblown. There is not this like infinite amount of free money that walks up to your booth like people think. Nobody sell their items for 70, 80% off market price. I mean, you can, but again, it's just like, here's the thing, guys. Everyone hears these percentages and they don't understand numbers. If you buy a $100 card for $80, okay? Well, if you sell it on eBay with shipping and fees, you're going to make like $5. If you sell it at a convention, most people are not going to pay you full market price. They're going to want less. Maybe you sell it for 90. You make $10. Oh, but you bought it for 80%. You're getting rich. Dude, if you buy $1,000 booster box for 80% and buy it for $800 and you sell it for $950, you made $100 or $150. These are not crazy amounts of money. People hear these. This is again, guys, hear me out. There's 260 people in here. Please listen to me. I'm not trying to promote an agenda. I want everybody to win. I just get pissed off at these YouTubers who talk in margins and they talk in sales because they don't want to talk in real dollars. Guys, margins mean nothing if you don't have high enough volume. Okay. Sales mean nothing if you aren't making actual dollars, right? You can make 100% margin on a dollar card and make $2, or you can make 10% margin on $100,000 and make 10 grand. Margins don't matter if you aren't getting large enough amount of stuff. All right. And sales don't matter if you're not making real dollars. So I would tell you to move away from the margin talk and the sales talk on YouTube and online and flock towards people who are going to talk in terms of real dollars and real profits. What are you taking home at the end of the day after everything is said and done and paid for, right? That's what matters. That's what matters. And guys, I get it. I get it. This is not going to be a popular video. People don't like when I make this kind of content because it's considered divisive, but it's not. I'm not trying to be divisive. I'm trying to get the freaking information out there. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of this information not being out in this hobby and people just like, repeating the same old tired bullcrap over and over. Guys, this is the reality of it, right? The reality of this business is the majority of vendors at Collecticon make between $100 to $1,000 profit. And then you'll have a few people who do very good. Some people make 2,000, 3,000 maybe. They're not, but again, that profit, if you take all those items and auction them on eBay, it's very little different. Meaning the actual value of Collecticon, again, listen to me. The value of Collecticon is not the sales, okay? It's the difference that you can make more than selling it online. That is the only value of selling at Collecticon, that little sliver. And yes, you can add in the pickups that you bought at 70, 80%, and you can add those unrealized gains into the sliver, which I did. But again, that's the difference. What you can get on eBay and then what you can get at Collecticon after adding in the unrealized gains of your pickups, that difference there is the value of vending at shows. It's not that great, guys. That's all I wanted to get through. I'm just trying to be real. I'm just trying to give you the no bullshit. That's it. Yeah, I said that. That is my numbers. And again, I welcome anybody. I got Save. I have reached out to over 10 different people that vend at Collecticon and other shows. They will not give me numbers. They will not give me concrete numbers. I tried. You can try, right? Now I get it. Some slabs aren't as liquid, but guess what? Boxes, sealed X, Y, and Sun and Moon boxes, those were some of the most liquid items at the entire Collecticon. You can ask anybody. And so I had a combination of very liquid items and less liquid items and everything in between. So sure, depending on your inventory, those numbers can shift, but depending on your inventory, the margins could shift too. So look, I never said that it's one way or the highway. I'm saying be real with yourself. And if you're going to vend, keep a detailed record of what you sell and what your real expenses are. And then do the numbers for yourself at the end and then compare that to what you could have sold all that for if you just auction it all on eBay. It's probably not much different. And that's the problem. That's what no one talks about. Nobody wants to put that information out there. They just want to like live in fairy tale land like, oh, I make so much money vending. It's just like, what do you make? An extra few $100s than if you could have sold it online? How about this? Send all of your crap to a consignment service. They'll do all the work for you. You're going to make about the same amount doing no work at all. You're going to take 30 minutes to fill out the form and package the box, send it to the consignment service. They'll send you a check. You're done. No work. You're done. Why not just do that? It's crazy. I wish I would have met you, man. You should have stopped by the booth. Yeah, Lost in Jersey. I agree with that, but again, you can definitely get better deals walking around Collecticon and picking up raw and mint singles to grade PSA 10s. I've been very successful at that, so I know it's possible. And if you did that and just sold everything on eBay, you would actually do better doing those two things than going and vending. 100%. I'll challenge people on that. I will challenge any vendor that wants to tell me they can outdo me. I will spend the exact same amount of time they spent working on their vending, right? Because think about this. If you're someone like Cardinal Gaming or like Pokemon Network, these people that put up these big displays, you might be there for like 2, 3, 4 hours setting up. So that's going to put your work hours more and more. If I spend that much time walking around the convention sourcing every mint single, I will make more grading my plays than and selling everything on eBay that I would have vended, right? So instead of vending, I take my entire vended sales, I throw them on eBay and auction them, and then I spend all my time there instead of standing behind a table. I spend all my time sourcing raw near mint singles to grade PSA 10s. I will win. I guarantee you I'll win, and I'll challenge anyone there to this. And I'll take whatever inventory you have. If you bring 100K inventory, I'll bring 100K cash, and I'll go source 100K of cards, and we'll see who wins. We'll see who wins. Because I'm just telling you, it's obvious. It's so obvious, but no one wants to talk about it. And now I know why nobody would share their numbers with me, because they didn't want this information getting out. It's not that good, guys. Not that good. I mean, yeah, content's different. If you're making money on content, you're not making money selling, right? You can make content doing anything, though. I mean, traveling really wasn't that inconvenient. I guess if you're flying, maybe, just throw it in suitcases, throw it in the car. It's not that bad. Is Pokemon Plumber the Luigi? Nick, are you hearing this, dude? You're Luigi, man. You're Luigi. Yeah, Bulbasaur was on the channel, and he gave roundabout numbers, but I wouldn't say they were hard numbers, but they were close. And he says, he's like, half my revenue, or more than half his revenue, comes from shirts and his content. That's it. It's not the sales. It's not the buys. It's not the sales. Like he said, after buying and selling, you're realistically going to have about a 20% margin, because yeah, you're going to buy at 70, 80%, but people are going to talk you down from 100% down to like 90, 85 or whatever. And so you're going to usually make around 20% after buying and selling. And a lot of his success is, and he'll tell you this, is due to his merch sales and his content, right? Not everyone's going to have that. He's the first, like he's the biggest. You're not going to go be the biggest. It's like me saying, well, I can just open packs and be like PokeRev. No, you can't. You can't do it. All right. In my opinion, vending works if you get multiple thousands of dollars in collections to buy. The selling part itself is mediocre at best, considering your options. Yeah, exactly. I mean, again, I would still challenge this. I think you can source cards very good at Collecticon, just walking up to people, buying a lot of their singles, negotiating them under market price, saying you'll pay cash, negotiating them down lower. You'd be surprised at what these people will take. I've done it multiple times. I can speak from experience. I've negotiated PSA 10 candidates that got PSA 10 well under near mint pricing on TCG Player because I bought a lot and I paid cash. So you can do that. There's collections all the time on Facebook, on Instagram that come up. There's collections on eBay that go low at auction. There's collections on, that go up on, Fanatics, whatever. And so like you can find buys everywhere under market. You don't have to vend Collecticon to do that. It's the biggest lie perpetrated on this community to get people like obsessed with vending, guys. It's not it. It's just not it. Would you have sold me your hat? No way, dude. The hat never comes off. Oh man, is there gonna be pack battles tomorrow? Oh man, maybe. If people want them, maybe I'll do a poll. If people want to do pack battles, we'll do some pack battles. Yeah, I mean, again, cool shive. So this is where it's at, guys. Like, if you vend locally, you're gonna here. Let's go look at the numbers again. All right. If you vend locally, look at this. So first of all, you don't have to buy a display case. You don't have to buy a display shelf, right? The table cost is probably going to be lower at convention. We'll just keep the. Oh, sorry. This is going to be there. My bad. The display cases. But let's say you're local to Collecticon, right? A local show is probably going to be less than this, right? But let's say you vended a local Collecticon. There's no display shelf. There's no pack dispenser, right? There's no hotel, right? There's no meals. Maybe you eat at home, right? Maybe you have to spend a little gas, like $10 in gas to get there and back both days. Like, it drastically now you go down here, right? And you take your expenses down to $385. Now you made $4,000, right? Now it's a lot different. Even if you take out those investments, right? You take out the One Piece Blue Bottom, the Team Up, and the Mewtwo GX. Even if you take those out, it's still good because you bring this down to what? No, $10 in gas, right? No meals, none of this. Uh-oh. All right, none of that stuff. Okay, $385. So even without those investments, you'd be at $1,958 net profit. It's great. That's great, right? So yeah, that's the true cheat code. If you can have a Collecticon local and you don't have to travel and pay for hotels and travel expenses, that is where you can do really well, right? But yeah, I mean the travel expenses, the hotels, the planes, the car rides, all the meals, you have to sell so much of your products, and you're actually losing money on them because you have to pay for all this stupid crap. Whereas if you're at home selling on eBay, you just have to pay for a shipping box, which is like 30 cents, and some shipping materials, another 20 cents, and pay for shipping and pay for some fees. It's nowhere near the cost. And you're getting full market price instead of a discounted price that people are negotiating you down on. So here, I'm gonna address the vendor POVs. Here's the thing, guys. If you just sent all your stuff to a consignment service, or you sold it on eBay and took 3 hours, and you took the other 17 hours going out in the world to card shops in your own home, whatever you want to do, creating 17 hours worth of content, you could probably do just as good as vending. Just go to freaking Collecticon. Go walk around. Make content walking around with people. You'll probably do as good or better than the vendor POV guys. So you can't try to like add content and be like, oh, Alex, your returns are better with content. Okay, I'll spend the hours I wasn't vending going and making content, and I'll still win. It's like, you guys keep trying to catch me and like back me into corners. I've got an answer for every single one of these. You cannot make vending make sense, guys. Unless you just enjoy it, the dollars don't make sense. They just don't. Craziest part of the people defending vending never have and never will vend as an event. They're just arguing. I know, it's true. But it's fun. Like, we need this, right? We need open discussion. This is what I think Pokemon YouTube desperately needs right now. Is we need to bring back debates, open discussion. Because it's not about like being mad at anyone, guys. Like, it's just a good time. It's a good time to talk about this kind of stuff. Derek, again, you can sell large amounts of inventory on eBay auctions. You must not watch the rest of this video. So what I did, if you don't know, I'll show you what I did. I took every single item that I sold. Hold on, let me go to my spreadsheet. My bad, hold on. So I took every single item that I sold, okay? And I copy pasted it down here. And then I went and found every one of those items' most recent auction sale. So you could sell all the same stuff on eBay at auction, 7-day auction, and this is what you would get for it at an eBay auction. So yeah, it's the same thing, man. You can move the same amount of inventory on eBay just to auction it all. It's the same thing. what is the reason people trading their item for 70 to 80% market value? Well, I mean, if you think about it, selling your item online on eBay, it's going to cost you about 15% with fees and shipping. So if you can get 80%, you're only missing out on 5%. Maybe the vendor will pay you cash. You want to get cash instead of having it on your books, whatever people's reasons are. Or they just want to get out of an item because it's not a great seller on eBay. If they auction it, it's going to go way lower. If they buy it now, it's going to take forever. So they want to get out of things. So those are some reasons people will take 70 to 80% on their items. Are you allowed to disclose cash sales? This is all the sales, guys. Again, it's not mine. It's Luigi's, right? It's Luigi sales. This is all a hypothetical scenario. All the cash. Remember, this is prop money. Guys, this channel is for entertainment purposes only. Remember that. And so, yeah, man, this is hypothetically cash, Zelle, Venmo, PayPal, anything you want. If you were to vend and accept those things. Now, if I don't know. I mean, it's Luigi's money. I'm just giving you the numbers. All right, what is this? Last thing I want to say, thank you for the free information and keep giving us every day. Oh, I appreciate that. Thanks a lot. All right, he's speaking basic math, people. All he's saying is expect to get back what you invest. Spend $8 on a product, sell for 10, you get $2. And then time is money. So was the amount of time invested. Exactly. I think people have, again, the content on YouTube has done this to people. It's given everyone a warped view of vending. They have this warped idea in their mind because they go and watch a guy like Bulbasaur or they go and watch a guy that like does that runs a business and they show big numbers, big sales, but they've never actually done it themselves or they've never dove into the numbers deep enough to actually see what they're profiting, right? They see like a big trade here or a big sale there and they're like, well, that guy sold like 10 grand worth. Well, he probably made like $2,000, and then he had expenses on getting there, like a hotel and rent a car and meals and this and that, and there was vending costs. It's like people don't think about that. They just think, oh, he made a lot of money. No, he didn't. Some guys do, most don't. It's the truth. It's the truth. And then you have to ask yourself, what's your time worth? Is it worth it to you to work 20, 25 hours to make an extra $200, $300, $400, $500, then you could have just worked like 2 or 3 hours and threw it all on eBay or sent it all to a consignment service and let them do all the work for you. Is it worth your time? And then what's the opportunity cost? Well, I can tell you right now, the opportunity cost for me was, put it this way, guys. All right, come here. Come back in. Let me try to explain this to people that are still missing it. All right, let me explain to you opportunity cost. Okay. Here's what you could make vending. Here's what you could have made selling everything at auction after taking out fees and shipping. Okay? It's only $370 difference. So let me break this down. You could have worked 3 hours, made that much, and then the 17 hours that you spent vending, right? That's the opportunity cost that you missed out on of walking around sourcing raw mint cards that you could have graded PSA 10s and made exponentially more than $370 extra dollars. That's the issue with vending. The opportunity cost of sitting at a booth all day instead of walking around making deals, it doesn't make sense when you can just throw it all on eBay. Guys, Catch 'em all collectibles, right? You guys all know Dan. He didn't vend. Old school Pokemon, he didn't vend. A lot of guys, yeah, Pokemon Radar was there, Squeaks was there. A lot of people, they weren't vending. Guess what? I think they all made purchases while they were there. Why are they there not vending, but making purchases? Guys, I had Nick, Old School Pokemon, right? One of the biggest eBay live sellers. I interviewed him at the last CollectCon. You can go find it on my channel. I asked him, I said, Nick, do you do better right now walking around, or did you get more deals sitting at a vending booth? He told me he does better walking around. I'm telling you, I do better walking around. I could have 1 million people tell you that. You still won't believe me or them. It's the truth. You're missing out by not walking around making deals, crossing your fingers, hoping that 1 out of a million collection walks up to your booth. It's not going to happen. It's going to be little bitty, collections that a lot of them you don't really want, but you're going to try to get low enough to make a small margin. There's going to be a lot of stuff you're going to be sitting on for a long period of time because it's illiquid. That's why they sold it to you cheap. And it's the truth. Guys, for the last time, I'm not here to spread an agenda. I want you to have the truth. The truth of the matter is the opportunity cost you're missing out on by taking all those hours and putting them into working elsewhere in your business instead of standing behind a vending booth and just auctioning everything off in a fraction amount of the time. It's ridiculous. No one talks about it. No one talks about it. This is what it is. I try, guys. I try to do my best for the community. If people don't want to listen to me, there's nothing I can do about it. If people want to bash me or hate on me, there's nothing I can do about it. All I can do is give you the truth. That's it. Hey, Pokey-san. Appreciate you as always. Hope you're doing well. Here it is again. Networking. Guys, Ken MFK, guys, don't listen to this guy. It's absolute bullshit. I have networked just as good attending Collecticon as I have vending. Actually, I think I did better. You can network better not vending, right? Again, I said at the beginning of the video, what do you think? Like, I took my vendor badge off and walked around to the other side of the table, and now immediately no one wants to talk to me? Oh, don't talk to Alex. He's not a vendor. Don't network with him. Guys, you can walk around the entire venue and network with people instead of being stuck behind a booth negotiating the whole time. Right? You can go to trade night. You can go to dinners. You can network just as good, if not better, by not vending and just attending. So now you can attend Collecticon. You can network. You can purchase cards that you can actually grade and make a better profit on, and you don't have to work. Just saying. Look, again, you don't have to believe me. I'm just telling you like it is. The value of vending is YouTube ads. Hey, dude, look, I could take those 17 extra hours and go put that into content, and I could probably make more off that content than the vendor POV guy does. Just telling you what it is. If you take two people with the same following, they both have, say, 50,000 subscribers, and this person makes vendor POV content the whole time, this person goes around and gets a bunch of shorts, makes a bunch of other long-form video, and spends their 17 hours doing something different, they're going to make more money off their content than just the vendor POV videos. So again, you're wrong again. Like, there's so many more benefits. I can't even explain to you everything. If Bulbasaur, Dylan, if you're watching this, man, you can feel free to comment, brother. I saw Dylan again while he was there. He came up to the booth. We talked a while. I guarantee you, if Dylan just like had someone, or he paid someone, or I don't know, is his girlfriend or wife, I forget if he's married, had them stand at his booth, and he just walked around and didn't work the whole time and just made other content and did like vlogs with people, I bet he would make more money off of that content than he would off his vendor POVs. If he used his following and his views he already gets and just put out a ton of those videos with his extra 17 hours he wasn't working, I'd be willing to bet he'd do even better. Just saying. If you really want to go down that road and like how valuable is the vendor POV content, content's valuable in and of itself. A following's valuable. I understand that. But it's not based off standing in one place the whole time selling. It's because people are following that person. Derek, you're not listening, dude. Look, I can dump all of your same inventory with online auctions. That's the point of this whole video. I showed every single thing that sold, what it would sell for on eBay on last auction sales. What are you even talking about, bro? I feel like people are just like, they don't hear what they want to hear, and so they shut down and they quit listening and they keep typing. It's mind-blowing, dude. My wife's boyfriend told me you're wrong and vending is better. These numbers are made up. Exactly. Exactly. My friend told me this. My brother told me this. Ah, rah, rah. Do they have numbers? Well, no. Oh, okay. All right. Well, believe them, I guess. Plenty of expenses and a lot more time put into shows. Also, cash at shows. Have a good accountant, but yes, it's not nearly as good as many make it seem. 100% MD Sports Cards. To the last thing is 2866 in 2 days and 2495 in a longer period of time. You can invest your money ASAP. No, please, your opinion on that. Yeah, I talked about this a million times, guys. So like people who have money like wrapped up in inventory, a lot of those people are like the full-time business people. They're always against investing because they say, well, I can flip and flip and flip. But it's just like, yeah, but you're having to work. Like how good could you do just putting all your inventory money? Like I made the video about this before, but like, you know, like 151 right now or Fusion Strike, Chilling Reign or things like that, Evolving Skies. Imagine if you would just put all of your inventory money in investing and then you would have spent all the hours that you would have worked on your business during that time and you would have just worked somewhere else, worked at freaking McDonald's. You would have done better just working a minimum wage job and letting your money grow in investment probably than you would working. And again, I'm not going to mention names, but I know people in this hobby who have six-figure inventories and they don't make six figures profit a year. But if you would have bought Fusion Strike at $80 with $100 grand and let it grow over these last couple years, you would have almost made $200 grand with working zero. Meaning, same with Evolving Skies, right? There are times in this hobby where literally you working is actually a detriment to yourself by not just letting money sit there and grow and going working part-time at McDonald's. It's the truth, guys. Do the numbers. But they don't want to tell you that. I got to grind. I got to flip. I got to churn and burn. Are you guys having a good time? Happy Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. Abraham, this is true, man. A large majority of purchases are buys in cash. I agree. That's why I couldn't believe that Luigi would let me use his data. But again, no one knows who Luigi is. I didn't even give you his last name. And so Luigi's not too worried about it. That's why I wanted to use him and I didn't want to use my numbers. Vending was a waste of time. No Excel spreadsheet to keep track of profit, loss, inventory management, and shipping logistics cost. Makes no sense. I knew it wasn't worth it. Yeah, no one does this. Again, share me a YouTuber that's done this. That's showed every single dollar amount broken down. They won't do it. They just want to like, you know, talk about how great it is. And oh, you get to network and you get to go to dinner and you get to, you know, get this and that. And there's collection pickups at 80%. How much did you pick up? I picked up like $1,000 in collection buys, $2,000. Okay, and you made 20%, so you made like $200 or $400. Awesome, great. You worked 20 hours for $400. I mean, what are we doing here, guys? What are we doing? Was there anything buyers were asking for that surprised you? Not really, no. People would come up every now and then for like a random card or a random sealed product, but like there wasn't anything that like I got asked about multiple times where it would have like got drilled into my brain. Everyone's just looking for something different. No, I don't think there was anything that was like hot right now that like really stood out, if that makes sense. Like I said, the XY and Sun and Moon boxes were by far the best moving item. I got asked about them the most. I negotiated deals on them the most. And it just seemed like those were really hot right now. XY, Sun and Moon boxes. Oh, that sucks, man. Yeah, we walked around. We walked around on Sunday. That sucks, dude. Sorry we couldn't get a chance to meet. I'll meet you at some point in the future, Boondock. Yeah. I definitely have no sponsorship with eBay, guys. You can rest assured there. Ray watching this right now, clenching his fist. Again, Ray was not there either. Now, again, I hope Ray's all right. Like, I know he's, down there with the hurricane. But taking this to collect out of it, because I don't want to say that. That's terrible. But, like, New Jersey, Ray didn't vend at New Jersey. Ray didn't vend. Why? Because he's selling on Whatnot, right? He's selling places where he knows it's more lucrative. Everyone knows this. But Alex, the profit is the friends we make along the way. But Mason, you can make those same friends just attending Collecticon. You can make the same friends doing that, dude. Come on, bro. Thank you for the honest work. Really puts things into perspective. If we ever want to go down the vendor route, numbers, percentages, expenses calculated really helps. Yeah, I mean, guys, here. If you want to be successful vending, you're going to have to get into singles. You're going to have to buy a lot of single collections. Those move the best. Higher end slabs. It doesn't have to be vintage, but high end vintage, high end mid-era, high end modern, right? The top Pokemon, the PSA 10s, right? Very hard to sell, like the number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10th hit in the set. Get all the best hits in every set. Have those graded PSA 10s. Have some of the top, most popular species of Pokemon, the Shinings, the Crystals, the Gold Stars. Have sealed product. Sealed booster boxes sell very well. Those are the items you want to have if you're going to vend. And also, make sure you put in 6 months to a year before you decide. If you're going to do that seriously, you need 6 months to a year to compound every single time, to really make sure you're buying in at 70, 80%, you're selling at 100 to 90, and you're taking in trades at 80, but they're buying things you took in at trade at 80. So now you're making like 20, 30, 40% margins on those, and it snowballs over time. And also, you got to build up your inventory to where you have $50, $100, $200,000 of inventory. So that way, when you're selling, 20, 30, 40% of it at a show, now you're no longer selling 5 or 10 grand. Now you're selling, 30, 40, 50, $60,000. And that's when you're starting to make the good profits. Because again, in this hobby, there's very few people that do it successfully without large amounts of volume. The name of the game in Pokemon and collectibles is volume. Like I say, the only way, the main way to grow your business is increasing the volume, right? If you're selling 20 grand, try to sell 30, then 40, then 50, then 100, then 200. And as long as you're making similar margins, your income will grow. That's the best way to do this. It's going to take time. It's not get rich quick. It's not overnight. And again, you don't need vending to do this, but if you want to go that route, it's very possible. This is not an anti-vending video. This is a video showing that you don't need it to be successful. You can be successful vending. You can also be successful running an online business. They're both good. Just don't buy into the fact that like, oh, you have to do this because of X, Y, and Z. You don't. You can. There are benefits to it. Take advantage of those benefits if you want to vend, but it's not required to be successful in this hobby. How much do you charge for consignment? I didn't take any consignments. I might next time, so I'll keep you posted on that. Keep you posted. Consignment, it's me like selling your items for you for a percentage. So like I'll bring all of your items with me to the booth and charge you like 5% if it sells. Type like that type of thing. Mason's Ponga's hero, guys. Ponga, you're my hero, brother. Beerski, what's up, brother? Great seeing you too, man. Beerski collects, guys. Make sure to check him out. Him and Ponga. Check out them too. Talking some Pokemon. Nice to meet you too. Appreciate you stopping by. BB was my hero. Uh-oh, Pokey entered the chat, guys. Pokey, what's up, Brian? Nobody wants to say it, but the real reason big dogs vend is they do cash-based accounting and sell their items for cash and launder it into something else without paying income tax. Oh man, Brian just came in throwing hands, bro. Brian, you were suspiciously absent this weekend. What happened, my man? I miss you this weekend, brother. What makes more money, pack battles or vending? Pack battles. Off topic, Charizard SIR 151, crack 200, and PSA 10s are 700. Yeah, so I picked up one for 400. I'm going to go ahead and auction it on eBay tonight. I have 2 of them. I'm just going to throw them at auction and see what happens. My cost basis are 400 in that one, and then I graded one myself. I paid like 110 for it back when it was 110, $15 to grade it, maybe like 20 after shipping. So I'm in for like 130 and 400. I'm just going to throw them both at auction and see what happens. I'm just going to throw it to win with the auction. 151 right now. There's no way it can keep up this trajectory. And so, yeah, any 151 slabs I have, I am going to try my best to cash in right now. You still dodged 400 in fees on those items. Yeah, but Mason was all worked in, bro. Mason, it's all worked in, dude. That's what do you mean? Look here. This is total sales at Collecticon, right? This is total trade and buys profit, right? This is total. I messed up the expenses already, but this is eBay. All the same exact items. Look, it's the same list. I copy pasted the same list, and I took all of the prices they sold for. I took the same costs, the fees, and the shipping, and got the profit, right? So all of those are already in the numbers, dude. Right here. Here are the numbers. I didn't miss anything, man. I was very detailed. I wanted to make sure I was as detailed as possible and fair as possible so that people could see how it really is. So you dodged fees, yes, but all of that was already included in my numbers. The fees are already included. Yeah, hey Z, I met James there. I think I might have talked him into coming on for a live stream. So we'll see if we can set that up. But yeah, that was great talking with him. Hung out with Radar and Squeaks for a while. That was awesome. Hoping to have both of them on the channel here soon. That'd be a great combo. And yeah, I mean, guys, look, I'm not trying to discourage you. Collecticon's great, right? It's awesome meeting people. It's awesome hanging out with people in person. You know, the whole experience is great. All I'm saying is don't feel like you're missing out if you're not vending, right? Don't get, fooled by like the pizzazz of the vendor POVs and the businesses showing these crazy sales and people holding up, stacks of cash and all that. Like, don't be fooled by all that, right? That's all just smoke and mirrors, right? Dig into the numbers. Numbers don't lie. Right? Numbers don't lie. Numbers aren't emotional. Numbers don't care about your feelings. Yeah, me and Eli should be back tomorrow. Absolutely. Eli is good. He was out of town with his wife. He thought he texted me and realized he didn't send the text. So that's where the confusion was. But he was fine. He was on a trip with his wife for her birthday. We're back on tomorrow. I mean, here's the other side of it, guys. Like Cashmere Fire says, personally, I like selling cards because I don't have to interact with customers, so I'll never be vending. Yeah, I mean, that's sort of my reasoning. Also, like staying off of sites like Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that is I'm past the point of dealing with customers too. Collectible customers, like a lot of you guys, I love you. A lot of the people in this space, they're absolute psychopaths, and so I've probably got like 1,000 eBay messages that I've never responded to and I never will respond to. And I like to just be able to list my item, And when it sells, it sells. I'm not going to negotiate with you. I'm not going to send you more pictures. I scan, there's PSA scans of the cards. If it's not good enough for you, move on to the next person. I got a buyer. I compare it to real estate, right? With real estate right now, how in demand everything is. If you list your house, right, and someone comes to your house and has their inspector come and inspects it and says, okay, we'll buy your house, but you need to fix this and fix that and this, or you have to give us this much off, I'd say, bye. There's 20 more people in line behind you. Either you buy my house for full price as is, or I'll go to the next person in line and the next person in line until someone wants it at full price and doesn't want to bring an inspector in and do all this bull crap. And it'll sell. The same thing with these cards, guys. If they're priced well and there's something people want, someone's going to pay you full price. I don't have time to go on Facebook and Instagram and negotiate with people and negotiate on what payment processor they want to use. How about Facebook? Or how about PayPal? How about Venmo? How about Zelle? How about friends and family? How about goods and services? You want to ship first? I'll ship. No, I don't have time for that. And I don't have time to send you more pictures. I'm just going to list the card and eventually someone's going to buy it. I'm going to ship it out. And that's our relationship. That's it. And so that's the other kind of benefit to selling on eBay is none of the back and forth BS. Like, here's the price. If you want it, great. If not, move on to somebody else. Simple as that. Simple as that. Yeah, I had a sponsorship deal with Whatnot before. And I tried Whatnot for a bit. It wasn't for me. I didn't like the giveaway culture, how everyone that came in the stream wanted a giveaway, and all the big channels that made it. They're running constant giveaways and all that BS. And also, from my experience, it's not everyone's experience. From my experience, it was much more singles heavy than pack opening heavy. And I am not a single seller. I'm a pack opener. And so for me, it didn't work for me. But others do very well on Whatnot. So it depends on what kind of business you're in. Like for me, I like opening packs. It's exciting. It's fun. I don't like sitting on camera going, and here's another single. All right, bid on the single. Hey, you won the single. Good job. All right, next single. Here it is. 5 seconds. Like, that's so boring. Like, I'd rather go back and sell Windows than sell that. It's crazy. Godly Shad, I will be doing it one more time because of a few things. I want to make sure Chicago just wasn't like a lackluster one. I also want to try to get a better spot. A lot of people said our spot we had wasn't a great spot to like a good table location. So I want to give it one more chance. Just so, because you always got to give things at least 2 chances, right? You can't make one judgment. So I will do the same thing again. I'm going to do another one next year. And I'll keep track of all the numbers again. And so I am going to give it another chance. But if it's similar to these numbers, no, I will not be a vendor, dude. It's just not worth the time investment, right? The opportunity cost of your time is so great that it doesn't make sense. Cadabra, I'm not going to beat you up, man, but this is such a bad take, dude. Like, I love vending because I get to see my buddies and talk to people around the hobby. You can literally auction everything, get almost the same amount of money, and still go to Collecticon and hang out with your buddies and see people and not have to work. And also, you can walk around and source more cards than are probably going to walk up to you and make more money doing that. But hey, man, I get it. If you want to do that, go for it. I'm just telling you, there are better options out there. And the whole thing of like seeing people or networking, you can do that vending or attending. It's the same, dude. It's the same either way. No, I don't grade on the same day. I take them home. I take them home and send them in with a submission, just like a regular submission. That's all. Yeah, I mean, there's risks on both sides, Justin. So like, yeah, Collecticon, you have risks of traveling with your items. You have risk of thieves stealing your items, which thankfully I didn't have happen. You can, I'm pretty like, I'm focused though. And if someone tried to, I would chase them down. I'd throw them in a rear naked choke, and I would literally hold them there until security or the cops came and got them. So don't try to steal from me. I will catch you. I will take you down. You will be very uncomfortable. I promise you that. But yeah, dude. So like, there's risk on both sides though, right? There's risks on shipping things, getting damaged in the mail. There's risks on people trying to scam you online, which aren't in person. So there's risks both sides. So I think the risks kind of cancel each other out. I wouldn't say one's more riskier than another. I think they're pretty online, in person. They have their own struggles, right? So I don't know if that is really a factor. Trying to teach the internet the concept of opportunity cost is like trying to teach a flat earther the concept of science. Hey, dude, the Earth is flat, okay? That globe you have, that's the fake Earth. The dragons live beyond the ice wall, man. You don't know. You don't know, but you will, because winter is coming. I just combined way too many like conspiracies with TV shows there. I don't know what happened there. Sorry, guys, I lost it for a second. Celestial TCG, I did better walking around. There you go. Told you, he did. Ethan did do better walking around. It was great seeing Ethan again and meeting his partner, his business partner. I didn't want to get it weird with it. His business partner, Mr. Sassy Otto Aaron. It was great meeting you. I'm sure a lot of you have done business with Sassy Otto on eBay. He's one of the biggest eBay sellers. So that was really cool being able to meet him and see you again, Ethan. I wish we could have got to like sit down and hang out and talk more than we did, but we'll do it again in the future. We'll do it again in the future. I'm lucky I had that vendor badge though, because if I didn't have that, we couldn't network. That would have been bad, right? If I wouldn't have had that vendor badge, you guys couldn't have talked to me because you can't network unless you're vending. You got to remember that rule, guys. If you guys aren't vending, you're not allowed to network. Can't do it. At a Collecticon, I think you'll do better walking. At local shows, you're one of the 5 vendors with Pokemon. You'll get tons of offered to you, show size. Okay, good point. Yeah, there's a lot of benefits to small shows. Also, no travel costs, no hotels, none of that. I agree, man. There's a lot of different factors that factor into it. Totally agree, buddy. It's the truth, not your truth. Yeah, man, like I told you, dude, I have my biases, but the numbers aren't biased. The numbers are just the numbers. And if the numbers make sense for you, then it's worth it. If they don't make sense for you, then it's not, right? For me, like being a card grader and like developing the skill of being able to look at a card and being able to pre-grade it, for me, it's better for me to walk around and source. For others who aren't card graders and are more like maybe like bulk single, like they get a lot of singles, maybe you do better vending, right? So it's different for everyone else. Like everyone's different. I would imagine it can be fun vending and not having to deal with people on eBay. The shipping process returns, but I agree with your stance. Numbers don't lie. I'm sure there's goods and bads of both, right? I mean, standing behind your booth for 10 hours a day, that's tiring. That's draining as well. And so again, there's positives and negatives to both sides of it. Pokemart TCG, totally not worth doing long distance vending. If shows are local and cost table is cheap, it might be worth it, but the vending is good for making connections that you normally would not get. I guess, man. Who's the first person that made a video about networking? I want to talk to that person. Like, I've seen so many people now repeat that line about like, it's good for meeting people. I have met just as many, if not more people attending Collecticon and walking around and going to trade nights and going to dinners and lunches with people than I ever made vending at the show. I don't know why that lie keeps getting perpetrated around. It's ridiculous. Guys, please look at me. You do not have to vend to network and meet people and hang out with your buddies. I can't, dude. I can't. I love you, Pokemon TCG, but I can't do it. It hurts my brain. It's the craziest thing. People think you have to vend to network. Oh my gosh. Tim, I'm glad we have to call Saturday. Me too, brother. What needs to change for vending to make sense? Seems like as an analytical view becomes more common knowledge that these conventions won't stick. What needs to change? I don't know. Maybe if here's what would be awesome if Pokemon would if Collecticon could try to get Pokemon to sponsor it and give all the vendors an exclusive promo, a stamped promo, and that promo was worth money. Then that would help offset a lot of the costs, and that could actually be worth a lot of money. That could help out. So something like that would help. Obviously, if you're local and you don't have to travel, that would help. If Collecticon could negotiate lower rates on the hotel to where the travel expenses would be less, that would help more. All those little things, any little thing that could take down your expenses so your profit margins could be higher. Anything like that would really help. But man, it's just the market. Anytime there's a lot of competition, the margins are going to shrink. It's just the way it is. Alex didn't ask me to hang out. Never do it to Collecticon again. Ponga, if you don't vend next time, I'll ask you to hang out. It was because you were vending I didn't want to network with you. I'm actually the opposite. If you're vending, I don't network. Oh, man. If you wanted to optimize vending to make more money, what would it take? You got to grow. You got to grow. More inventory, more tables, more display, right? You can do some with advertising. You can have big banners, big things around your table, make content. You can definitely do things to improve it. But at the end of the day, guys, everyone's selling the same stuff, right? Some people sell vintage, some sell modern, some sell sealed, some sell single, some sell slabs, but everyone's selling Pokemon. And most everything except for your real niche, high-end, crazy items, most everyone that Collecticon has similar things, and it's very hard to differentiate yourself, and everyone's getting people walk up to them with collections. Everyone's competing for their business, and so it's just more, man. More volume, more inventory. That's my best advice for you. I will say I think slabs are a little slower than singles. And I'll say packs or other items are slower than boxes. So I would say peak inventory for vend. If you want my advice, all right, it's top tier slabs, PSA 10s of the most popular cards, the most popular species, the top hits of the sets. Okay, any era. Singles in binders or high end singles in your cases, right? Raw singles, and high-end sealed product. XY, Sun and Moon, even some higher-end Sword and Shield boxes, even going back to vintage mid-era. That's what I would say. I would say high-end slabs of the popular species, top hits in the sets, singles, and sought-after higher-end booster boxes. That's going to be peak inventory. That's my opinion. That's what I would go for. A day and a half. I shut down at 2 o'clock on Sunday. It was slowing down anyway. I doubt there would have been crazy amount more, but yeah. So over a day and a half. All day Saturday. From open to close Saturday. Got there at 6 o'clock, closed down at 5:36 when the event was closing. So all day Saturday. What's up, Senpai? My day is well, thank you. Hey, Pokeballs, what's up, dude? It was awesome meeting you. Awesome meeting you, too. I miss Chicago. I was too busy laundering money into my car washing business here in Omaha. Do you actually have a car wash business, bro? Is a laundromat next? All right, we're getting a laundromat. We're going to get a car wash business. What else, man? What else can we get? Oh, that's so funny, dude. Dude, XY Sun and Moon boxes sold extremely well. I sold 75% of the boxes that I bought from a giant collection from Abraham. It's crazy. It's crazy. You couldn't find me. I was at Green Shiz's section. The Green Shiz, Rock Pokemon, Thrifty, Medikai. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention him earlier. Medikai, guys, you guys probably seen his vendor POV videos. Met him. It was great meeting him. I talked about Dylan, Bulbasaur. Got to see him again, hang out with him. Gosh, who else, man? It was crazy. But yeah, I was at that booth. The worst grading companies? Yeah, CGC. CGC, CGC, and CGC, in my opinion. Those are the three worst. I never thought about stealing from Alex, but now that he has promised to choke me from the back while he's naked, has me wanting to steal from him more than ever. Oh, that's good, bro. Oh, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. Dang, now I gotta hold up my end of the bargain, apparently. Uh-oh. Nick, what's up? He's lying. He made 100K profit. I seen it. Dude, Nick, you own half the town, dude. We were walking down the road, and Nick's like, yeah, that's my building. That's my hotel. He's like, oh, yeah, that's the bank where I have my safety deposit of all my cash and all my slabs. It was crazy. I mean, dude, guys, Pokemon Plumber, if you guys don't know, he owns like half of America, okay? And the small amount that he shows on his Instagram, that doesn't do it justice. He's got like... He owns like crazy amounts of everything. Everything you could think of. He owns like companies. He owns like, corners where he has people work on the corner. I don't know what they do. I don't want to talk about that business that he owns. Oh, man. Super chat. How do I use reseller certs? What if it's online? Reseller certs? Appreciate the super chat, man. I don't know what you're talking about. What are reseller certs? I don't know what that is. Sorry, dude. Did you notice any high volume sales during the VIP hours? Also curious if vendor-to-vendor trades have a more even value. Yeah, I think vendor trades have more of an even value, I would say, on trades. So there you go. There's a benefit to vending if you're trying to trade inventory, I guess. We could say that. I'm gonna get audited thinking you're serious. What do you mean, dude? I am serious. I am serious. We couldn't walk more than a few blocks without going and passing another building you own, dude. I mean, dude, we were walking down the street with Nick. He had to literally walk in one of his 7-Elevens and shake down the guy that was running it for his money that he didn't pay him. It was crazy. I watched it happen. I almost got it on video, but I couldn't get my cell phone out fast enough. But he literally shook down one of his managers because he was stealing from him. It was crazy. It was crazy. So these are real things that happen when you vend at Collecticon. You could get, you could run into things like that. I did trade night. It was so large and spread out. I didn't really see a lot happening there. It wasn't the best of trade nights. I'll say that. It wasn't the best. I mean, it was fun talking with some people, but nothing crazy going on in terms of like trades. There probably were trades that happened. I just didn't see many going on. All right, so that's what I'm talking about. Networking. It's with people you normally would not even have met. You cannot network on eBay. No, Pokemart. No, I get that. What I'm saying is you can network without vending. You can just go to Collecticon and enjoy yourself and network. You don't have to vend, right? You don't have to work. That's all I'm saying, dude. I think you took me the wrong way. No, I'm not gonna be at Houston. Sorry, dude. Yeah, just go back to the beginning of the video. There's like probably 20 minutes of showing the numbers. Oh, BB's gonna check me here. One thing you did touch on that I want to reiterate is what you have to sell matters. Some inventory makes way more sense at a show instead of eBay, but that doesn't mean you should change your inventory to be better at a show. Yeah, no, for sure. I thought I mentioned that. Oh no, you reiterated it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I agree. Like I said, singles do better. Higher end slabs that people are like looking for, like, you know, maybe some high end like shinings, gold stars, first editions, crystals, things like that. And then like higher, like the top tier hits, like go through every Scarlet Violet XY, Sun and Moon XY set, have like the top tier hits in those sets. Those will sell well. But other than that, yeah, not many more slabs. And then like a lot of steel product you're not going to find widely available elsewhere. You guys are getting wild in the chat. But yeah, let's wrap things up there, guys. That was it, guys. I mean, hey, you small fish, what's up, dude? Ponga, like, dude, Nick was hanging out at my booth, for like half the event. Why didn't you walk over and say what's up? Respond to me. What's up? What'd I miss? Oh, do you ever feel embarrassed around the baddies talking so much Pokemon? Nah, bro, I'm married, so I don't gotta worry about that these days. Yeah, maybe if I wasn't married, I'd have to disguise it a little better. Now I just don't care. Let's see. My goal in life is seeing Nick and Walrus cuddle in person. You would have saw. I'm not gonna blow up Walrus, but yeah, you would have saw some pretty crazy stuff going down at a restaurant. If you would have been there with Nick and Walrus, I will say that much. Apparently, things got pretty wild. Ponga, weren't you vending the same square as Alex? Yeah, dude, like, Ponga was directly across from me. He never walked over one time. You know what? Ponga probably could have networked better if he wasn't glued to his table vending. Uh-oh, Ponga called you out, dude. I just blew up your whole vending position. See? You could have walked around and met people if you weren't vending, dude. Tried to help you, man. Tried to help you. No, look right here. Exposed. I just exposed vendors, guys. I had like 3 tables, no time to chat. He had no time to chat because he was vending. Look at that. That means vending just impeded his ability to network. It actually worked against him. Oh, dude, vending's dusted. Vending's over. It's over, guys. We just blew it up. Ponga just blew it up for everybody. Can't network if you vend. You can't network. Oh, man. Oh, hold on. Let me try to find your message. Hold on. Oh, I got a reseller's license. I want to buy inventory in order to sell. However, I don't want to pay the taxes. Yeah. So just type in on Google or something how to enter reseller permit into eBay, how to enter reseller permit into TCG Player. And so here's the thing, not everyone accepts it. So it's not like every single card shop, every single place you buy from is going to accept it. But you can, yeah, just eBay TCG Player do. Just look it up, enter your reseller permit. They'll take like a day or two to prove it. Once you get approved, your account will no longer be charged sales tax. So yeah, it's pretty easy, man. It just takes a minute. Takes a little bit. Ponga caught with his pants down. Oh no. Oh no. I haven't been to any other TCG conventions, but I enjoy CollectCon. It's a great time. Nothing against CollectCon. I love it. I love CollectCon. I just think you can probably enjoy it more if you're not vending, if you're not working. Oh, man. I can't live with my numbers. I'll find out I lost money. All right, guys, we're going to end it there. I'm going to work on getting some good guests on coming up. Again, I networked with a lot of people there because I was vending, obviously. So hopefully I can get some good guests on the channel coming up and everyone's got time in their schedule. I think it'll be a good time. Be live with Eli tomorrow. Have more videos coming. Hope this video at least shedded some light on live vending. But hey, don't take my word for it. This is just one person's numbers. I plead with other people out there. Please release your numbers. Please show people what's possible. Again, this is all entertainment purposes only. This is all a friend of mine, Luigi's numbers. I know I said it was mine some of the times, but what I meant was this is all Mr. Luigi's numbers. All the props I use, all this money. This is all just theater money, right? It's all fake. It's for entertainment purposes only. I'm sure you can actually make money like that at a Collecticon. I wouldn't know though. But yeah, good luck to everyone with that. Hope the video helped. Hope it helped seeing some real numbers. I beg with every other person out there who does content and vends to put their numbers out as well to help everyone, have as much information as possible so they can make their own informed decision. And that's all I got, guys. Have a good one. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate all the support, and I will be back here in a new one soon. We're out.